a future king, a California mansion, and two children whose names sit inside the British line of succession while whispers follow them across two continents. That is the image many royal watchers cannot stop thinking about. Not a public argument, not a dramatic balcony moment, just silence. Long, cold royal silence. And somewhere inside that silence sits a question that has become one of the most explosive topics surrounding the modern monarchy. Could Prince William ever move to remove Prince Harry's family from the center of royal life once he becomes king? Let's talk about what really happened. Picture this for a second. Prince William standing inside one of those ancient palace rooms with portraits staring down from the walls. The future king of the United Kingdom, a man raised from birth to protect an institution older than most countries on earth, and thousands of miles away in Montecito, California, Prince Harry is building a completely different life far from the palace system that once shaped every hour of his day. Those two worlds no longer even resemble each other. What many people don't know is how deeply this divide has unsettled royal insiders. Accounts from journalists and palace observers reveal that the breakdown between the brothers is no longer viewed as a temporary family argument. Many inside royal circles now see it as permanent. And that changes everything. Because once a royal split becomes permanent, attention immediately turns toward succession, titles, public roles, and legacy. That is when the institution begins thinking like an institution again. Coldly, carefully, strategically. According to people who have covered the royal family for years, Prince William is not interested in public drama. He is not believed to want screaming headlines or televised confrontations. The monarchy survives by avoiding chaos whenever possible. That is the important part. The palace rarely fights loudly. It removes quietly. And there is already a modern example sitting right in front of everyone. Prince Andrew. For years, many people believed Andrew was untouchable. He was Queen Elizabeth's favorite son, a senior royal with military titles, patronages, wealth, and status. Then suddenly the machinery of the institution moved against him with astonishing speed. The military roles disappeared. The patronages vanished. The His Royal Highness styling effectively faded from public use. And the remarkable part? No dramatic courtroom spectacle inside Buckingham Palace was needed. No screaming constitutional crisis unfolded on live television. The monarchy simply stepped back from him until the distance became permanent. These stories provide insight into how royal power actually works behind closed doors. The public often imagines crowns and ceremonies. The reality is quieter than that. Royal authority usually operates through slow isolation, controlled appearances, private agreements, and institutional pressure. That is why so many commentators believe the monarchy would never risk the chaos of something as explosive as public DNA demands or sensational accusations. The institution protects itself differently. On this particular occasion, what shocked many observers was not the idea of confrontation. It was the idea that confrontation might never be necessary at all, because the line of succession itself can slowly become smaller, less visible, less important. And once royal relevance disappears, the public often moves on with astonishing speed. But there is more to this story. The tension surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle did not appear overnight. It grew piece by piece across interviews, documentaries, books, speeches, and public accusations that stunned the palace establishment. Many are questioning how things reached this point so quickly. Remember the Oprah interview? That moment changed everything. Millions watched as accusations and private grievances spilled onto global television. For palace officials, it was not simply embarrassing. It shattered one of the monarchy's oldest survival rules: never expose the family war publicly. Then came the Netflix series. Then came the memoir. Then came more interviews. And with every release, the distance between Harry and the royal institution appeared to grow wider. According to royal correspondence, William reportedly took much of it personally. Not simply as a prince, as a brother. That emotional layer matters because behind all the constitutional language sits something painfully human. Two boys who once walked behind their mother's coffin together now barely appear capable of standing in the same room. That image still haunts people, especially inside Britain. Accounts from insiders reveal that many palace staff believed reconciliation might happen after Queen Elizabeth's death. Others hoped King Charles's illness would finally force the family back together. Instead, the divide seemed to harden. And while the headlines focused on public appearances, another conversation quietly grew louder behind the scenes. A conversation about the future. Not today, not tomorrow, but 20 years from now. Because William is expected to reign for decades someday. That means decisions made during his future reign could shape how Harry's children are connected to royal life for an entire generation. That possibility has fueled endless speculation online. Some people believe William will eventually remove titles entirely. Others think he will simply freeze Harry's branch of the family out of public royal duties forever. Some insist reconciliation will still happen privately one day. But what truly unsettles royal watchers is the silence itself. The palace almost never explains its long-term strategy publicly. It simply acts when the time comes. And that uncertainty has created a storm of rumors, theories, and whispered conversations stretching from London dinner parties to California media circles. One former palace observer described it perfectly. The monarchy does not panic. It waits. That sentence explains almost everything, because time has always been the monarchy's greatest weapon. Governments change, prime ministers rise and fall, public outrage explodes and disappears. But the institution survives by outlasting everyone else. William understands that better than almost anyone alive, which is why some royal commentators believe the future king may never feel the need to publicly attack his brother at all. He may simply close the door quietly one day and never reopen it. And honestly, that possibility feels far colder than any public fight ever could. To understand how the royal family reached this point, you have to go backward. Way backward. Long before California mansions and Netflix cameras entered the story, Prince William and Prince Harry were viewed as the monarchy's future together. Two brothers balancing each other perfectly. William was the steady one. Harry was the unpredictable one. Royal insiders often described Harry as the emotional heartbeat of the younger generation. He connected easily with crowds. He laughed loudly. He appeared relaxed in ways William rarely could afford to be. People loved that dynamic. After the death of Princess Diana, public sympathy surrounding the brothers became enormous. Britain watched them grow up under impossible pressure. And for years, the relationship between them appeared genuinely close. That is what makes the collapse so shocking, because many journalists who covered the family during those years insist the split did not begin with one dramatic event. It developed slowly through personality clashes, growing resentment, and completely different views of royal life. Unlike William, Harry never seemed fully comfortable inside the system. He often spoke openly about media pressure and emotional struggles. Friends reportedly worried for years that he felt trapped between royal duty and personal freedom. Then Meghan Markle entered the picture, and suddenly the entire structure shifted. At first, the relationship looked like a modern fairy tale, an American actress marrying into the British royal family. Crowds celebrated them. The wedding became a global spectacle filled with celebrity guests and enormous media excitement. But even during the early days, accounts from journalists and palace insiders suggested tension behind the scenes. Staff turnover reportedly became unusually high. Communication problems grew. Conflicts over protocol and media strategy reportedly intensified. What many people don't know is how seriously palace households value stability. Senior royal staff often stay in those roles for years, sometimes decades. When employees begin leaving rapidly, insiders notice immediately, and people noticed. Then came the first major warning signs. The separation from William and Catherine's household, the move to Frogmore Cottage, the growing rumors of disagreements between the brothers. Publicly, the palace tried to calm speculation. Privately, many correspondents believed the family. Divide was already becoming severe. Then came Megxit. That single announcement detonated like a bomb across Britain. Harry and Meghan announced they were stepping back as senior royals while seeking financial independence. Palace officials reportedly scrambled to contain the fallout as negotiations unfolded between Harry, William, Charles, and Queen Elizabeth. According to journalists covering the crisis, emotions inside the family became extremely raw. Because from the monarchy's perspective, this was not simply a couple relocating abroad. This was a senior prince breaking away from the structure entirely while still carrying global royal status. That had never really happened in the modern media age, and the situation became even more complicated once the couple relocated to California and began signing major commercial deals.